What's that in your pocket? That's just a Boss Katana guitar amp. You can now fit your Boss Katana amp in your pocket with this, the Boss Katana Go. And in this review video, I'm going to go through all the specs and features, show you some of my favorite sounds, give you some tips and tricks, including how to use this in a live rig, and ultimately tell you whether I think you should buy it or not. Before I go any further, this is a sponsored video, but I'm still going to say and do whatever I want. So first, what is it? Well, as it says on the box, it's a personal headphone guitar amplifier for guitar and bass. And what Boss have done is put the main features of the Katana in a headphone amp. Now, if you're not familiar with the Boss Katana range of amps, think of them as a multi-effects with a really good amp, and then in the case of the combos, a speaker as well, in Boss build quality and accessibly priced. And apparently, all that, minus the speaker and the power amp ability, is in here. Something that now fits in your pocket. So let's find out what's in the box. We've got a quick start guide, a QR code, a USB cable, a safety guide, and the Boss Katana Go, which on this side has a display and the master volume. This side has the stage feel, Bluetooth, charge light, and power button. And on this side, you can choose channel A, B, or C, cycle through the banks, and activate the tuner. Here's where you plug in the headphones and the USB-C cable, and that's the plug that goes into your guitar. On the back are 2 rubber strips for guitar protection. Using it could not be simpler. You pick it up, you stick it in your guitar, and you turn it on. There, like that. If I use this camera, you can see it stuck in there. However, I figured making the video like that would be kind of difficult, so let me show you my proposed recording setup. I've got a guitar cable going into the guitar, and that cable's running into this little box, so I'm going to plug the Katana Go in there, meaning the guitar is now connected to the Katana Go, and instead of headphones, I'll plug in that little line out cable, which goes into my Zoom recorder, and then out of there are my headphones. And instead of monitoring with some high-end studio headphones, I'm going to use the earbuds that came with my iPhone. And the final step is to connect it to my phone. So I press the Bluetooth button on the side and then connect. There we go, done. Now I think it's important to mention you do not need to connect the Katana Go to a phone or any device in order for it to work. I'm just connecting it so you can see what's going on for the purpose of the video. In fact, one of the standout features is the screen, which allows you to see what's going on without needing a phone. So let's tune by holding that button in. Tuner comes up on the phone, but as you can see, it's here as well. This already makes it better than a Katana amp because it has a tuner. Press the button again to come out of the tuner and let's hear it. Now, it's not stereo, but because of those reverb and delay effects, it kind of feels stereo. But it isn't. It is mono, just like the Katana 100 and the other Katana amps, apart from the Air and the Air EX. Which means, and this is super exciting, that you can exchange presets between your amp and the Katana Go, using or download them from Boss Tone Exchange. But you can't plug the Go into the amp. You have to use a computer in between, or possibly the app. That I don't know. You have to find out or let me know in the comments. But there are so many presets available for the Katana amps that you can just go online and download for absolutely free. I've just realized I might be shouting because of having the headphones in. But enough said, I'll go through some presets and give you my top 5 tones from the Katana Go. Just jumping in here, if you've got this far and you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you really like it, subscribe. Thank you. So those are some of my favorite sounds, and you can store 30 presets in the Katana Go. And to select it, all you need to do is press A, B, or C. That will give you your A, B, and C within that bank. And then to switch the bank, you just flick that to the top, will go up a bank, and then down will go down a bank. So there's 10 banks of 3 presets each. One of the things Boss does often, and they do it well, is to take some features from various existing products and then put them together in one new product, which is exactly what they've done with the Katana Go, and they've added the stage feel mode from the AVRII headphones. There's a switch on the side of the unit just here called Stage Feel, and that can cycle through a few different modes, making you feel like you're inside the music. I've had it off so far, but I'll put it on and cycle through the different modes so you can hear the difference. And when you turn that off again, it feels kind of empty and dull. Yeah, so it feels like it's missing something, even though it sounded all right in the first place. So I definitely prefer it with the stage feel on. And there's a custom mode, which if you go into that and then use the app, you can go into System and Stage Feel, and then you can move where the guitar is. So it's kind of like panning it. You can also change it from stage to studio or studio to stage. Which is a bit more extreme. What it doesn't do is that gyroscope thing where you move your head and the amp is somewhere behind you or in front of you. It can't do that. But I never used that on the AVRII anyway. I just went for the stage feel. So I'm very happy to have it in the Katana Go. Let's have a quick talk about the app. You've got several screens. So the first one is the editor, and from there you can select all the different patches and then get out of that. And within that, you can go through all the different effects, and then within that, edit the effect. So you can choose the modulation you want. And then once you change your modulation, you've got all the different controls for that specific modulation, which again is very reminiscent of the other Boss apps. Then you've got the librarian. So at the moment, I've only got the Katana Go user memory data library contents on there. But you can create a live set and you can call it Andy. Oops, there we go. And then in there, you can select and save another bunch of presets and then export that using these buttons to the Katana Go, or indeed import them from the cloud or from a file. That's a whole nother video, which I'm sure Boss will tell you how to do. If they don't, maybe I can make a video on that at some point. So the tone exchange doesn't quite work yet, and I'm using the beta version of the app, so maybe it'll come sooner than June 24. I don't know. Then you've got system for all the settings, and within there you can do a surprising amount of different things, like check the battery, which is now down to 1, because I've been using it for a week. And the battery lasts for up to 5 hours, but I've been using it for about, I'd say, 4 right now. So let's see how long it lasts. You can also connect the Katana Go to a wireless pedal. A specific wireless pedal, well, 2. One of them is the FS1WL. This means you can change presets and stuff on the Katana Go wirelessly. Doing this is pretty simple. I'll just run you through how to do it very quickly. So power it off, power it back on again, and then I'm going to wait for it to start up, and then press the Bluetooth mode, and then put that into wireless MIDI. So its power is on, and press instrument on there. And is it going to connect? Yes, it's connected. So now instead of changing patches with the buttons on the side, you can do it with the foot switch. There. And also the foot switch has extended connectivity, so you can do even more things by plugging more pedals into there. Now I know that I powered through that, but if it turns out the Boss manual is not as good as it should be, then I'll just make another video for you and we'll go a bit more in depth about using the Katana Go with things like this wireless foot switch. Something the Katana Go has taken from the Pocket GT from Boss is the session stuff, which enables you to load a YouTube video into the app and then play along with it. So you can go into there, and I'm going to add something from the internet, paste an URL that I found earlier, a URL, and then it's an ACDC style backing track. There it is. I can go to my editor, and I've selected Stadium Solo, but I'm going to take the volume down to get a bit of a better mix. I'm going to press play on there. It will start the track, and I can play along. I think I'm still in drop D. I am. All right, well, you get the idea. The fact is, I can load in a YouTube video. If it's a tutorial, you can slow it down. If it's a backing track, you can play along with it, and you can set little markers as well. How do I do that? There we go. That. Marker 1, marker 2, and it'll jump to that part in the video. Press play, and off you go. I hope by now that I've communicated the Katana Go has a bunch of stuff that's useful for practicing and learning and just enjoying guitar. But there's a few more tricks it has up its sleeve that I'm not sure Boss are intending it to be used for, but you can use it, so why not? The first thing you can do is plug it into any speaker system that has an aux in and use that speaker as your amp. So now I've got the cable coming out of the Katana Go into this extension and the other end into the aux in of the speaker. So mic'd up little Bluetooth speaker is now a guitar amp. And of course it needs a bit of tweaking, but you could get away with using something like that. And as you can use anything with an aux in, the Katana 100 has an aux in, which takes me on to my next trick that you can do. So I'm still plugged in to the Katana Go. I'm still on that patch, whatever that is, natural drive. That's plugged into the Katana 100 aux in. Now, the reason this is cool is that if I had a friend here with me, or if you were jamming or something like that, and your friend had a Katana amp or some amp with a line in or aux in, you could just take the Katana Go with you and then play along through the same amp. So people are always asking if you can plug another guitar into the Katana. Now you can, through the aux in. Now, as I mentioned, there is a bass mode on it, and to do that, you've got to turn it off, hold down the Bluetooth, and turn it back on again. This changes to mode select guitar, then you use the plus and minus to select bass. Press it again to select. It says changing. Now you've got to power it off and power it back on again. And now you're in bass mode. So now you see we've got 3 amplifiers, vintage, flat, and modern. And you can, again, change it on the Katana Go. I'm just using the phone so you can see more detail. But I'm going to go to some presets. Heavy fuzz, we're going to come back to that. Pop bass sounds fun. I've got to try Fusion Slap. And then just for me, heavy fuzz. Times like this, I wish I'd been a bass player. They have a lot of fun. All right, that is the bass mode on the Katana Go. And there is loads of stuff going on there, not just the 3 amps and a bunch of effects. Well worth a go if you're a guitar player that has a bass, or if you're a bass player that just happens to have stumbled upon this channel. Hello. Now, if this Katana Go has the same capabilities as the Katana Amps, it should take pedals really well. So let's find out and plug a fuzz into it, and I'll test it. Right, so I've got guitar going in here. I'm now going to go guitar going into the fuzz pedal, and then we're going to go out the fuzz pedal into the Katana Go, like so. I've got a slightly dirty crunch amp. Picking the fuzz. I mean, it takes the pedal okay. I'd rather a real amp, but it sounds like a fuzz. It's certainly fuzzing up. This is possibly not the best pedal to see if the Katana Go takes pedals, but let me know what you think in the comment section. There was one thing I probably should have tested at the beginning, but I've kind of tested it throughout the video by playing various guitars, and that is, does it fit every guitar? And I can answer that by saying yes, so far everything without a problem, and there seems to be enough space and wiggle room to get that in everywhere. One guitar that has an issue is this one, sometimes, the Ibanez AZ. And does it plug in there? Yes, it does. All right, that's there. You can't really see the screen because it's poking that way, but it is in there and you can use it. Can I turn it around the other way? No, it doesn't quite go in that way. So if you want to see the screen, that would be really useful. So that's poking up at me, but it's not plugged in. Right, so if you've got a guitar with the jack cable, jack socket down there, that's going to be an issue. Other than that, it fits in, it will work, just can't see the screen because it's all the way over there. There's one final thing that the Katana Go has going for it, and that is that it's a USB interface. So if you plug your USB cable into there and then into either your computer or your phone, you can record directly from this. And also, if you plug it into your phone, you could stream directly to Instagram or YouTube or, MySpace or any of those, I would guess. Probably not MySpace. I don't think that's running anymore. Let me know. But my point is, you can use this as an audio interface, which is not uncommon in things like this, but it's good to know that you can do it. Also, I haven't actually put this in my pocket yet. Let's see if it fits. It does. Oops, there's a little sweetie wrapper there. I have average pockets, and it should fit in any pocket that you can find. Does it fit in that tiny little pickpocket? Oh, almost. Oh, look at that. Amazing. What's that in your pocket? That's just a Boss Katana guitar amp. Anyway, let's round up this review. Let's talk price first. It's 130 euros, just over £100, just about 100 and, I don't know, something American dollars. I think it's worth every penny. You're getting all the functionality that I've shown you in this video. You're getting all those sounds, the tone exchange when it works. You're getting Boss quality. And on that, quickly, it's built well. It's not built the best. Like, it's still a piece of plastic. That is sturdy. I wouldn't want to try and, if you knocked it in your guitar, you probably would snap it off. And that goes for every thing that looks like this and does this job. There's a little bit of give, but if you put it down, it would snap off. As for the screen, it's sturdy. The buttons are nice to press and don't look like they're going to fall off. A huge plus point is the tuner mode on this. The fact that you can have a tuner with the press of a button changes everything for me. The tuner is the one thing that's missing from the Katana Amps, but also from the Waza Air headphones and things like the Fender Mustang Micro, where I did take the Mustang Micro on my Strat on holiday. I also had to take a clip-on tuner. Now, I only have to take this, and I absolutely would take this. I would definitely replace the Mustang Micro with this, because not only has it got the tuner, it's got the screen as well, so you can see what you're doing. And also with the Mustang Micro, which I must say I love, and I still recommend the Fender Mustang Micro, I had to take the little card that says what color LED does what, because it's only got colored LEDs on the side, so you have to gauge from the color what you're doing. And Boss have clearly seen a problem with that and fixed it by putting a screen in here. And now I have a wish, because we've got Katana Mark II. We can't be that far away from Katana Mark III. And although I love the simplicity of you, I wish you had a tuner. And if you had an LED screen, you could. So I don't know if Boss want to step away from the simplicity of Katana Amps. I don't know if you want that. So if you do or don't, let me know in the comments how you feel, if you feel strongly about it. But just having a tuner in the Katana Amp would automatically make it even more versatile than it already is. But you don't need to add an LED or LCD screen for that to have a tuner. You could just use the lights that are already on there. Over the week of me using this, at not one point did it let me down or did it run out of battery. And it's taken me quite a while to record this video, and the battery is still going strong, and I haven't charged it since I started using it last week. One thing that's a bit strange is that I've been trying to edit this video all week, and I'm just editing it now, and I've added this piece in. my son's been ill, and the only way I've managed to play guitar in the past 4 or 5 days is with this and headphones on the couch with him whilst he's sweating and suffering. So yeah, a big deal that I have this. So Boss, great timing. Out of all the things I could possibly want, there's only one thing missing, and that is a big nice to have. So in the USB audio interface part of it, even though this is mono, you get left and right in, and they're both affected signals. So whatever you have this set to, say a crunch with some delay, you're going to record crunch and delay. I wish it had, because it's only mono, channel 1 as the affected channel with the crunch and delay on it, for example, and channel 2 as just the clean DI, so you can reamp with it later, like you can do with the Katana amps. Boss, I'm pretty sure that's possible with a firmware update. If you could do that, I would have absolutely zero wishes about this, and then this would be kind of perfect. Ultimately, why wouldn't you want a Katana Go? It's got all the stuff from the amp in a tiny little package that fits in your pocket, plus a tuner, plus the tone exchange, plus the YouTube videos, plus the USB audio interface. It's easy to use, it's reliable, it lasts for ages, and it's pretty well priced as well. If you can pick one up for just over $100, I think this will replace your practice gear. I never thought I was going to replace my Waza Air headphones or my Fender Mustang Micro. I love both of those things for different reasons. This is now going to be my #1 go-to practice tool. That's quite a surprise for me. All right, I hope that helped you make some decisions about the Katana Go. There are links to it in the video description. They are affiliate links. If you use them, they help support the channel at no extra cost to you. A big thanks to Boss for sending this out and for making it. We are getting better and better gear by the week. If you enjoy what I do, there's a button there you can subscribe to the channel, and you can leave a thumbs up if you want. But most of all, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of the Katana Go, and I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.